How do you support a movement? I think this is something that we're in right now. We're wrestling through, struggling through. I don't have all the answers, but we've come across some answers. What we've learned is that you can't support a growing movement through a command and control structure. In other words, anything that is centralized, that has all the information or all the orders or even all the finances moving from one central point, will not truly become a movement. And we live in a society that is so rapidly changing, especially cities are changing so rapidly all the time. And if we have to keep going back to a centralized command center to get our next instruction or to get our funding or to get our orders or to learn what we need to learn, if everything needs to be communicated centrally, then we can't adapt rapidly enough to our changing society. And so we will actually fall behind. We want to get ahead of the curve. We want to learn faster than the world is changing. And so we said, how do we do that? How are we possibly going to do that? The first thing that we have to do is we have to begin to train mentors. Teams that are working in different places need mentoring. And mentors are leaders, people that have gone through the process, that are outside of the team, that are able to mentor those teams and help them move forward, and the team leaders. And so we began to train up mentors. But we realized that even then we weren't learning enough across the movement. So we launched something else. We launched what we called a crosstalk program. And what that is it's different teams that learn from one another. We set up a system whereby this team and that team, whether they are city teams, urban teams, whether they are regional teams, national teams, or global teams, where they can learn from one another in a way that not just the leader of this team and the leader of that team, but every member of that team learns from every member of that team. And now multiply that across 10 or 20 or 30 teams. If you've got 30 or 40 teams around the world, all learning from one another, you start seeing a crosstalk and what we call adaptive learning process taking place, where learning is taking place from team to team, from person to person. And really what you're doing is you're also checking. You're helping nothing to go completely off track. But you're not doing this from a central place because people are learning from one another. And best practices begin to emerge to the top. And so our role has become helping these teams to connect with each other more effectively and then learning from them. Rather than telling them what to do, trying to learn from them what God is saying to people on the ground as they build movements. And so the three things that we've done to this point is we've built in mentoring systems. We've helped mentors to mentor teams. We've learned how to build a crosstalk system where different team members are learning from team members in other teams and then debriefing back in their own teams and learning through that process. And we've learned how to build an adaptive learning process that we can actually take what we're learning from everywhere and then adapt what we're doing locally from the relevant things that we're learning out there. Then take what we've adapted and feed it back into the crosstalk so that the other teams can learn from it. So this is what we've learned about supporting a movement. It can't be command and control. It can't be centralized. It can't be hierarchical. It can't be a typical business hierarchy or pyramid structure. You have to find a way to create a decentralized movement that still has stability. It's not anarchy. It still has stability because people are learning from each other and adapting rapidly to the changing environment. And you're helping that to happen. And so we support movements from a non-central point. Everybody's learning from one another and adapting and growing at every level through mentors, through crosstalk programs, and through adaptive learning.